Today I'm going to show you Finley's journey of us and exactly how we got into 5k a month in less than 3 months time. See, Finley joined us in July, midway through. He'd been trying setting by himself for about 2 months and he just couldn't land that role. He couldn't get anything to stick. He just wasn't making money and he was completely fed up with his job. I remember Finley was working construction. He was doing sometimes like 16-hour days, working so hard but getting no reward from it. He wanted to go out to Australia. He'd even booked a flight for later in the year so he'd be able to quit his job and go out there. But he just wasn't able to because he hadn't had that freedom from setting it. And I'll show you exactly how he enabled to have that freedom, how he was able to then go and quit the job, how he was then able to now book flights, not to Australia because his plans changed and that's the freedom of it. He could go wherever he wanted to go, but we'll get to that. So as soon as Finley came in, he was given the job and they just got on the call and placed him on it. These are both of the offers. And yeah, this was in the first 2 weeks of him joining. He was already on 2 offers. So 4 days after being placed on the offers, he quit his job, went all in, because as you can see here, one of them was a trading offer, gave him a 500 base initially. The offer was doing 150k per month, so his on target earnings for the month would have been 4k plus dollars. And there was a drop shipping offer doing 300k per month, so he had a 5k plus OTE with bonuses included, plus he was doing some extra closing on the side of that. So as you can see, he made 2.7k in August, so pretty quickly he made a 3k month in USD. So 1,000 down. He then literally was closing deals in like his second, I believe this is his second month in high ticket sales properly with us. 1.5k cash collected again for closing. And then this was last month, this would have been one of the first months, so 4.5k generated, ended up being a 7k generated day. So yeah, that would then be like, depending on his commissions, probably I think it was about 500 to 700k day, and that's talking GBP. And then in September, so far as of now, we've got a couple of days left, but he's hit 5k dollars. Closing more deals. See, like this time he's closed a 4.5k deal in his third month in appointments, in high ticket sales as it's closing now as well, so he's now a hybrid closer. Huge W as well, payment plans down, just getting more wins, right? This was at the start of the month, he was at 1.4k and 9k cash collection. So next month, in a couple of weeks, he's joining us in Brazil. So he actually cancelled his flight to Australia earlier this year and decided that he wanted to go to New York. So he has booked his flights to New York. I believe he's planning to be there for like 2 or 3 months. He's got an apartment and he had a bit of time in between going there and now. So next month he's going to come join us, probably in Brazil in a villa like this. And we're also flying out 2 other of our students. So Stan's flying out, and then part of an agreement I had with Henry, we're actually flying him out and covering all his costs. And he made 5k this month too. So if I go over how we actually did it, let me break this down for you. Well, we gave him the skill set, because beforehand, how Finn was learning, how he was actually learning how to set, he was watching YouTube videos, loads of free random courses, and he was getting a ton of different info from loads of different people. So it mixed it all. Imagine you're trying to make a cake, right? And you want to make this perfect cake, but you look online and you find 5 different recipes and take the ingredients from each one and mix it together and hope you get a nice tasting cake. It just doesn't really work. See, with all these setting frameworks, if you mix and match them, you're following different threads and looking for different pain points, different structures, it just isn't really going to work. So what we did is we gave him the best skill set, showed him exactly what frameworks to use. So on these high leverage roles, you need to develop just undeniable skills so that you can just jump from offer to offer. You don't have to really change it, personalize it to the offer too much. Well, you do that yourself, but you don't have to be taught it, because he just understands setting more than anything. He just has the skill set of appointment setting. And from there, it stopped him from being stuck when he was watching his YouTube videos and other free resources. So along with our roadmap as well, showing it every single step of the way, what he had to do to actually be successful as a setter, to be able to land these roles, to be able to progress, and now, as he already has, gone on to closing mode, which is exactly what we're looking to help the boys do. We give you, a footprint, a path to follow into remote sales, into making money through appointment setting, and then we help you go beyond that setter, management, closer, and scale up, get to the 10k, 20k months. Okay. So the positioning and the opportunities, you can have the best skill set in sales, killer mindset. You can be turning up every day. You can literally be doing every single thing that you need to be doing on paper, right? But if you don't have the right vehicle, if you're not on the right offer, then it's not possible. You can't make 10k a month if you don't have anything to sell. Simple as that. And that's probably one of the hardest things for people coming in without any real direction, support. You're not going to be able to get on these offers because you simply just don't have the connections, you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the history or statistics, your self-experience, right, to be able to land these offers. So without that guidance, without people connecting the dots for you, essentially putting you in these places, it's very, very challenging. So we have our own in-house job board with multiple roles a day being posted. This is how Finlay got on these roles like instantly and didn't really have to work much. He was just, in that first 2 weeks, we're training him up. As soon as he was ready, he had the skill set and we felt like it was right. We put him on them offers. And he's been offered like over 15 roles that all would have paid better than the 9 to 5 had he gone with them. But he's now obviously doing the best roles that suit him, which has allowed him to make the 5k plus a month. But yeah, like a lot of the time we'll have people, because we have connections in the space, will come to us and be like, hey, Ollie, Ethan, I have an appointment setter I need an appointment setter that can do X, Y, Z, has this experience for this role, works these hours, and we can look at all our students, whoever's putting in the most work, whoever's actually isn't on a roll at the moment, which sometimes is the challenging thing, and placing them directly onto that offer. So the mindset is massive. You can have the skill set, you can be on the right role, you can know exactly what to do. But if you don't have the right mindset, you probably won't make it too far, because sales is commission based. So you're not getting that fixed pay. You won't have that security. So a lot of it you have to trust in yourself. You have to be willing to keep showing up, putting in that work, even through the rough times. So mindset is something I help the boys out of a lot. I believe very strongly in it because it's worked for me. It's helped me to get where I need to be. And through working with a ton of people, coaching hundreds of people myself, it's proven and it's just true that you have to have a bulletproof mindset to actually make it far and be successful long term. So mindset controls how well you can actually do in the space. So to ensure success, risk does need to be taken, and you can't just have a comfortable mindset where you're like, I just want to be safe and stick to my 2k a month. If you want to go above and beyond, because you're gonna have to take the risk. You're gonna have to go for that big commission where you're gonna have to show up. You're gonna have to get the results and put in the work to get paid, right? So having a solid drive is essential. Pure determination is exactly what Finlay had. He came in, I could see it from the start. I could see he wanted it. I could see he was hungry, and I knew from that moment he'd be successful with the right coaching, with the right guidance, and he was. Quitting his job, right? He took that risk. You can't say it much better. Within the first 4 days of being on them roles, he quit his job, he went all in, he took the opportunities, he jumped onto closing calls with barely any training from closing. I had to help him out last minute. He'd never closed a deal before that, and that's exactly what took him, right? Having that mindset, having that guidance, helping him along that way to not only have this, have the experience and the skills, but to become the man, to become the guy that makes the 5k a month is essential to be able to actually earn it and sustain it. So the source behind it all, we have a ton of training modules, right? Each section has multiple videos really breaking it down and explaining every section bit by bit, so you know exactly what you need to do. And we have DM setting, we have phone setting, different types of appointment setting, and if you do go on to hybrid closing, I have a ton of closing experience. I've invested over 15k into training myself. So many other resources which people can use to actually, people normally pay tens of thousands like I have for these skill sets, right? And you can use this to your advantage, right? We have recording of coaching calls from people that have a ton of experience in the space, guest speakers that are sharing their knowledge for free through the connections that we have. And continued improvement, right? So the amount of one-to-one coaching sessions, we offer our one-to-ones on the basis of however much support you need, we're here, you book in a call with us and we'll give you that guidance and support. So to ensure continuous improvement in every area of sales, because we're not just one of those guys that will drop you in the middle of some training courses and leave you to swim in the deep ocean. Number one, you're not going to see the success. Number two, what is the point of us even training you if we're not going to give you that support and help you along each day? That's what gives me the motivation to keep showing up also. Number crunching, so we break it down, right? We'll sit down with you when you get the offer, we'll vet it out, we'll, if they're not doing things right, we'll help them improve, or even offer to manage you on the role. And we're going to line you up with your goals so that you can crit your 9 to 5. So you need that 4k, we're going to break down your commissions, the close rate on the offer, how many closes you need to then do that, what the show rate is, and then really break down how many you need to book a day. Like say that day you book 2, the next day turns to 4. Say that day you book 4, cool, it stays at 3. Say you book 5, it still stays at 3, because we always want to be one step ahead. That may not make sense, but it's pretty simple when explained properly. Working out the day-to-day target that needs to be ensured. That way, if we always know whether we're behind, whether we're in front, if we're not hitting that 4K a month, we can put a solution in place to make sure that we're always hitting the goal. And without going into too much detail, that's exactly how Finley hit the 5K plus month and is going on as a closer. He'll probably be seeing 10K months very, very soon. I'd be surprised if he didn't do it next month or the month after, and that's allowing him to then have that freedom to come out, meet us in Brazil, fly off to America and really just live the life of a remote salesman. And as you can see, Finley wasn't exactly special. He didn't have sales experience. He was an ordinary lad just like myself who just decided to take that risk, to take that leap, to get the training, to actually put in hard work and want more for himself. So if you see yourself in that same position that Finley and I were both in, and you want more, you know you're capable of more, then don't be scared to just reach out, and I can just start with giving you some guidance and showing you how you can also take these steps.